Hey, welcome to the One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute with your host, the alchemist of Indiana's Black Forest, Alan Bishop. Hey, this channel is all about home distilling and legal distilling. If you've got questions, reach out to us in the comments below, social media, or via bishopshomegrown@gmail.com. And don't forget to check out thealchemistcabinet.com. Hey guys, welcome back to One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute. We've got a series of talking head videos and good questions to knock out here this evening, so I hope you guys are all doing well. And if you are not aware, the new Practical Distiller's Almanac is available now from the alchemistcabinet.com. It is something I will be doing annually. In addition to the normal Farmer's or Old Farmer's Almanac, this will include some of the lore and some of my thoughts about distilling with different moon phases and the various processes around that, including fermentation, malting, and those sort of things. Several articles about distillation, maple syrup making, a little bit of folk magic in there mixed in as well. I will continue to do that and add more and more of that stuff every single year because it's something that I really enjoy, and I think that it works out better maybe for me to start even including distilling recipes in there. There's a couple in this one, not a lot, but in the future, instead of doing fully dedicated books just to distillation and distillation recipes, I might start including them in that almanac. So be on the lookout for that if that's something that interests you. Of course, every little bit of that money comes to us as a family, but also generally just goes right back into doing more of this one piece at a time, and or the if you have ghosts, you have everything stuff. So I just want to thank you guys for always being supportive with your comments, as well as buying the various books and the various things that I make out there and the various spirits that I distill as well. So you're probably going to hear the dog in the background here in a minute whining. She's waiting to go outside. We got to put the chickens up before she can go outside. So let's go ahead and grab a question here and get into it. So I want to ask you two questions. First, I know through your YouTube videos that you mentioned the oak mason jar lid inserts for aging. I don't believe you ever really followed up on them, so I was curious if you had a chance to purchase any, and if you did, what your thoughts were on them. Second, I'm working to start a very small distillery myself, hopefully by the end of the year. What I wanted to know is it possible to get a spirit made through a Pechuga style distillation approved by the TTB? Which is to say, would the TTB approve the recipe where raw meat is hung within a still during distillation? As a huge fan of mezcals, and specifically Pechuga mezcals, I am interested in blending American spirits with Mexican Pechuga techniques, and I would like to know what your thoughts are on getting these recipes approved. I appreciate any time and energy you spend on my thoughts, and look forward to hearing from you, William. Man, great questions, William. So I did comment on the jar lids at one point. I never did order them. I never could find any. When I looked up about them, most people were having problems with them leaking. So I never did actually end up getting any of those. I'm still very interested in them. I'm still seeing people playing around with doing that at home. I see no reason why it wouldn't work. I mean, it's the same sort of concept as the Badmo, so long as the jar lid isn't going to leak, and as long as it's not corrosive. So I'm thinking you just switch it out like you would on an inline thumper, mason jar thumper, and put stainless steel bands on those jars. I don't know why it wouldn't be a worthwhile endeavor, and I really should look into it more. If I had more time to play around with making things myself, as far as actually building things or any real inherent skill in that line of work, I would just make them myself. But if you guys out there are aware of any of these mechanisms to actually put a piece of wood for the lid of the jar to age spirits similar to a bad motivator or a 1030 barrel, reach out to me and let me know where I can get them at, because I would be interested in getting my hands on a few of them and giving them a test. I think it would be very, very worthwhile. Speaking of that, be sure you go out and, if you're looking for good barrels, 1030 and bad motivators where it's at, man. Either the 850 milliliter 1030 barrels or the full 2-gallon bad motivator barrels. Both are great quality wood. Those guys are actually getting better quality American oak than what most of us legal distillers can get. So if you want to up your game big time, that's your source right there. Secondarily, on your question about the TTB and whether they would approve a Pechuga style spirit. So for those who don't know, TTB is basically the regulatory body for the distilled spirits industry, both in terms of what is allowed in distillation, such as ingredients, usually based upon the FDA GRAS, generally recognized as safe list, And also, of course, taxes and all that stuff. So I would suspect that you should be able to get it through. I don't know. I've never tried to push a Pechuga spirit through the cola registration and get a label approval, recipe approval, and that kind of stuff. But I know there are at least imported Pechugas available in the United States. So if they allow it to be imported, then I would certainly suspect that there shouldn't be a problem there. There's already, there's already a product like that on the market in the United States that they let into the United States. So there's already a precedent for it. But the TTB can be very picky. So I really don't know the answer to that. If any distillers out there know the answer to that, reach out to me and let me know, because I too would love to do a Pechuga on the legal side of things. Absolutely 100%. But I also don't know how they would react if they saw, made with raw chicken breast hung in the still or whatever. Or in the case of what we did here last year for, the week before Easter, a little bit of rabbit in the actual distillation path. That's a good one. I'll see if I can't follow up on that. Maybe some of you guys out there can reach out to me and let me know if you know the answer to that. So, great question. Let me see if I can't find us another good one here to get into. Yeah, here we go. So this is cool. So, Marius. Hello, Alan. My name is Marius. I'm from Romania. I've been watching. That's awesome. From Romania, guys. That's fucking cool. I've been watching your videos for some time now, as I'm very interested in making different spirits at home. In my country, the majority of people make different kinds of fruit brandies at home and consume them without barrel aging. And the few people that do age the spirits are doing it for a short amount of time, maybe a few weeks in oak, Quercus robus, or Patria, or mulberry, Morris alba wood, just to give the liquor some color. Thus, there is no one close by to ask this. I've read on some website that by using wood from the same tree that the fruit came from to age spirits in gives the spirit a fruity taste, thus making it more intense and tasty. As an example, by using plum brandy and plum tree wood to age it, you give the spirit a more plum-forward taste. Did you, by any chance, have experiment with this kind of wood? And moreover, if you have any experience, is there any need for the fruit tree wood to be seasoned in the same way as the oak wood to be usable? Thank you very much for your response. Man, great question, and so glad to hear from you in Romania, country steeped in distillation legend and lore and talent and just great folk distilling traditions there. So super exciting just to even have this question. So generally, yes, fruit woods do add some sweetness. I've not used a lot of them. I will be honest with you. I have used apple wood in the past. It was quarter sawn. Well, at least to the best that I could do it, and seasoned for close to 2 years before I used it. And I gave it a light to medium toast. This has been years ago when I did this, and it certainly added, there's a fly in here in freaking February. It certainly added some sweetness to the spirit. I know that Christopher is working on some cherry wood stuff over at Bad Motivator, and when he did the full-on 100% cherry heads, he said they were getting a little overwhelming with the cherry sort of flavor, so he switched them to 1 cherry stave and 2 oak staves, I believe, and sort of sorted that out. So certainly that cherry flavor is pushing through. I have used some mulberry in the past as that I think was like a honeycomb type stave. And to be honest with you, that was so long ago that I don't remember what it did or didn't do for the spirit, so I couldn't really comment on it. What I can comment more thoroughly on, though, is using that wood, those various fruit woods, to smoke barrels or to smoke grains, and it certainly brings a much fruitier smoke to the forefront when you do that. I love using apple wood to smoke malt. Specifically corn malt. Applewood smoked malted corn whiskey aged about 9 months in a 15-gallon barrel has been one of my favorite things that I've ever made in my entire life. And I would do it again in a heartbeat. And I love how much the sweetness of that apple smoke comes through. very much in the same way that it does when you're barbecuing something and you use apple wood. So I know that that's not really what you're asking, but that would be the closest to my experience of things that I've actually done on some scale that I could comment on. So certainly continue to look into it. And guys, Ian or Christopher, either one from 1030 or Bad Motivator, if you guys are out there and you see this video, chime in, let people know you guys playing around with any different fruit woods. And by the way, if you are, I'd love to have one of those barrels. I definitely want one of those cherry stave barrels, Christopher, for sure. 1,000,000% want one of those in the future. So anyways, guys, as always, if you have questions, reach out to me at alchemistcabinet.com, bishopshomegrown@gmail.com, YouTube comments below. Sometimes I miss those YouTube comments. I've noticed that. I'm going back now and trying to pull questions from old YouTube videos, to add, into future video, segments like this of talking head videos. Hope you guys are also enjoying the If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything podcast that I am occasionally uploading as a video onto this channel. There's a lot of crossover there into the distilling world, and again, if you're not into the paranormal, just skip past it and don't worry about it. But if you are, it's there for you. And if you enjoy it, go check out If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything, wherever you get your podcast, and tell your friends about it. And if you got weird shit that's ever happened to you in your life, reach out to me on that too, because I want you on the show to talk about it. All right, guys. Well, I will catch up with you soon. I love you very much, and take care of yourselves.